I've been watching the Lindsay Clancy trial. Not because I have any opinion on the verdict. I don't. And honestly, I don't think anyone outside that courtroom really can. What got me was something smaller. Over and over, doctors on the stand are trying to answer one question. Did she really hear a voice in her head? And how would anyone even know for sure? That question stuck with me because I don't have a voice in my head. Ever. No inner narrator, no inner monologue, nothing playing on repeat. If someone asked me that same question, do you hear a voice that isn't really there? I genuinely wouldn't know how to answer it. Not because I'm hiding something, because I don't have anything to compare it to. That's what this video is actually about.
Here's the thing. There's no brain scan for hearing voices, no blood test. When a doctor wants to know if someone's having hallucinations, they basically just ask, do you hear things other people don't? Does it sound like it's coming from inside your head or outside? Whose voice is it? That only works if everyone's starting from the same place. Most people do have a voice in their head, that little narrator that reads your texts back to you or talks you through your day. So when their inner voice gets weird or turns against them, they notice because they know what normal feels like for them. I don't have that comparison. I don't have a normal inner voice to notice going wrong. So what does that question even mean for someone like me?
Here's a theory a lot of scientists actually believe. Hearing a voice that isn't there might just be your own thoughts, mislabeled. Your brain has this built-in trick. When you think something, it tags it as mine, ignore. That's why you don't jump every time you think a sentence in your head. But if that tagging system glitches, your own thought can suddenly feel like it came from somewhere else. Like someone else said it, not you. If that's true, hearing voices might not be about hearing something extra. It might be about your brain losing track of what's already yours. Which brings me back to me. If hallucinations are your own inner voice getting mislabeled, what happens if you don't have an inner voice to begin with? Say a voice showed up in my head tomorrow. What would I even call that? My first instinct might be, oh, I guess I just got an inner voice now. Like I'd crossed over into having one, the way everyone else has. Not a hallucination, just a rival. But someone else with the exact same blank slate as me might have the opposite instinct. I've never had this, so this isn't mine. Something else put it there. Same experience, two completely different conclusions. And neither of us would necessarily be wrong, because there's no outside reference point to check against. Nobody's studied this. I looked. There's no research on people like me and this specific question. And that's not just some hypothetical what if for me either, because I didn't always know I was different. I didn't find out I had aphantasia until I was 59 years old. 59 years of people saying, just picture it, or quiet your inner voice, and me just going along with it. I figured picture was just a figure of speech. I never once thought I was different, because there was nothing in my life to compare it to. I answered questions about my inner world the same way everyone else did, using the same words, because those were the only words available, even though nothing was actually happening behind them. Here's what actually worries me about all this. Someone could go their whole life without knowing their inside works differently, not because they're hiding anything, but because most people have never even heard of aphantasia or Anauralia. There's no common word for I don't have an inner voice, so there's no way to know that's even a thing you could say. If that person got asked, do you hear a voice in your head? They might not have the language to answer it accurately, not because they're lying, but because nobody in the room, including them, knew there was a difference worth naming.
This is exactly the kind of thing playing out in that trial I mentioned. Real psychiatrists, real psychologists on the stand, disagreeing with each other. Did the voice start when she says it started? Did it stop exactly when she says it stopped? There's no scan that says, yes, voice, confirmed. There's only what a person says happened inside their own head, and other people deciding whether to believe them. I'm not here to tell you what's true in that case. I don't know, and nobody outside her own head can fully know. That's the point. I'm not saying doctors are making things up, or that mental illness isn't real. It very much is. What I am saying is, the tools we use to check on the most serious, high-stakes questions about someone's mind assume everyone's inside voice works the same way. Mine doesn't work that way at all. And even if something new showed up in my head one day, I might not be able to tell you myself whether it was mine or not. If the test breaks down that easily for me, how many other people is it getting wrong too? I don't have an answer for what should replace "do you hear voices?" I just know that question was never built with someone like me in mind. And I'd bet I'm not the only one it doesn't fit. If any of this sounded familiar, if you've ever answered a question about your own head using words that never quite matched what was actually happening in there, I'd genuinely like to hear about it. Drop it in the comments. If you want to see more of this kind of thing, hit like and subscribe. It actually matters since this channel isn't monetized, so that's the only signal I get that this stuff is worth making more of. And if you want to support the channel directly, there's a Linktree link down in the description. Thank you for watching the Rabbitflea broadcast.